Talking Golf on the Golf Effect Network is on the air. Talking Golf is brought to you by American Transmission Company, ATC, helping you keep the lights on, businesses running, and communities strong. American Family Insurance, insure carefully and dream fearlessly. Oak Park Place, offering senior living options for the lifestyle you deserve, with amenities and services for a carefree, independent way of life. And by the Princeton Club, a premier health club that combines state-of-the-art equipment with a highly trained staff and convenient locations. Now, here are your co-hosts of Talking Golf, Dennis Tiziani and Paul Brown.
And we welcome you to another round of Talking Golf on the Golf Effect Radio Network from Cherokee Country Club in Madison, along with Dave McCann, our engineer. Along with Dennis Tiziani, I'm Paul Brown. On tonight's show, in a couple of minutes, we're going to be joined by Steve Stricker. Steve tied for 23rd in the Players' Championship over the weekend. That's a pretty good finish for him.
Not bad.
Like 9 under par.
Not bad. I told him, not for an older guy. You know, he's
51 years old now.
51 years old. He's competing, and he could have putted a little bit better in the third round, but for the most part, pretty good. I mean, there's only 22 players better than him in the world, you know.
And Webb Simpson was 18 under. Dennis, you've played that course. How good of a score is that 1800?
Well, it's 18 when he was at 20 and 21.
Yeah,
that was
right.
When it was 18 they've done before, you know. They've done that about 63. I mean, really, we could put an average guy, again, in the middle of every green.
You're talking about somebody like me.
You're getting it. Yeah, I'm looking right at you,
especially
a left-hander. You know,
I picked up on that right away.
You wouldn't break 90. No way.
Not even on my best day, huh?
Well, yeah, best day, maybe.
Plus, if they give me the 2 footers, maybe then I would.
There's no such thing as gimmies, but you know, that's an unheard of score. But there were a number of guys who had that 63, 64. Yeah. I mean, that's way out of whack when they're, you know, 7 under at the end of 9 holes. But the conditions were good, no question. But even still, it's very, very difficult course. It's totally different. You know, as Pete Dye says, golf is not a fair game. So I'm not going to build a fair course.
Would you say it's even fair to suggest that Steve isn't putting as well as he has in the past? And part 2 of that same question, if that's the case, does he change anything, or does he just putt more and get it back?
Putting is a will, a mindset. It's not going to go, you know, and he'll fool around and he'll find a trigger that'll get him going the next time. But he just got going again.
Yeah.
I mean, he hasn't really. You wait to see after he gets done this week, and then he's going to be playing in Texas. See what happens in the third tournament. That's when you'll judge what he's doing. He's
going to play in the Byron Nelson tournament. We'll talk to him about that. And then he's also going to play in the Champions Tour the following week, correct? Because that's a major, right?
Yeah, but this week, he's going to play maybe 3 in a row.
And we'll talk to him about he was going to get an exemption at Memorial, but it sounds like he's going to pass on that to try and qualify for the U.S. Open.
Right. That's so far that's what's on the agenda. But like anything, like he changes clubs, he can change his mind anytime too.
Also on the show tonight, Gail Perla is going to be on with us. Gail is the volunteer coordinator for the American Family Insurance Championship. She's going to fill us in on the status of volunteers. They don't have a shortage of volunteers for the AmFam Championship. And then, of course, Sanjay and Dory are going to be with us because we're going to talk about WIBA and WTSO. I want to tip my hat to them today. Those 2 radio stations, and Tim Scott and the boys and gals out there, they have been outstanding. There has been 10, 12 interviews on those radio stations today, and we're talking about Alzheimer's and birdies to end Alzheimer's. And to everybody listening to us, the guy to my left has an awful lot to do with this project taking place. You and I started talking about this about 3 years ago, and it took us until this point, but now we have permission to do it, and that permission comes from the foundation and American Family Insurance. And
they did the right thing, though, by putting it off. They didn't know, you know. Did we help them along a little bit and push it? I guess so. And did we set them up so they had a way to communicate it? But really, it's going to be the thing. As you know, we discussed this quite from time past, and even now that we have to get to the bottom of this somehow. And if in our own little way that we can do that, I mean, this turns us on. I mean, everybody knows. I mean, we talked about it. The reason I'm doing it, obviously, because Karen told me. I mean, She died so we would do this. And now when I listen to some other people, same thing. But I listen now, that's her mission. That's our mission now to carry this forward. And it is the right thing to do. And because it is, it's going to be fun besides.
And I hope you're right on what you think we're going to do. But I think we'll hold that for a while because you expect it to do very, very well.
Oh, yeah. You know, I mean, I'm talking somewhere, I can tell you, it's 2 to 4 million.
Oh, my goodness.
First year. You don't believe it, but I do. It's right.
I hope you're right.
It's going to happen. I mean, just do the math. And you know, and 1,000 birdies. I told you 2 bits of birdie minimum. That's $250. And my question is, do you think there's 1,000 people in our purview that well, 250 times 1,000? That's just us. Didn't count UW Hospital divisions there. 30,000 people that are in Chicago alone that are alumni. And we didn't even do American Family yet. And then how about the rest of the world? You know, Paul, it's 10,000 people at least times 2. That's only at 2 bits of birdie. You know how many people are doing $1 and $2 already.
Yeah, I know some people, a couple that are doing $2 a birdie, some that are doing $1. I know some that are doing a nickel, which is fine. And put it in a perspective, even if you do a dime and there's 1,000 birdies.
$1. Don't give me this dime stuff you're telling me.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, this is a big deal. And, you know, the thing is what you're finding out, and I am too, and everybody else, there's a lot of people that have been touched by this. And some you don't even know about. I mean, I'm going up north this weekend, and I'm going to be up there with a couple of guys, and they listen to this radio station. And I can tell you that, you know, their wives and one guy's son, you know, on and on it goes, that had the problem. And they're waiting for this. This is about bigger than that volcano that happened over there in Hawaii.
And let's talk golf, though, before we get into the Alzheimer's birdies to end Alzheimer's. We'll be back with Steve Stricker after this time out on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
The American Family Championship features golf's living legends competing right here in Wisconsin. Take advantage of the Wild Rock American Family Championship package, which includes 18 holes with GPS cart at Wild Rock, with lunch and a Wild Rock hat, plus a ticket to the championship in Madison this June. Call or check out our website for availability, 608-253-4653, or wildrockgolf.com. That's wildrockgolf.com.
I need a number. Nobody's giving it to me. The PGA Tour champions are coming back to Madison. The 2018 American Family Insurance Championship Week is set for June 18th through the 24th at University Ridge. Tickets are available now at amfamchampionship.com/tickets. Be on the links when tournament host Steve Stricker tees it off. Proceeds from the AmFam Championship benefit the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation, the American Family Children's Hospital, and numerous local Madison charities. Don't miss out. Get your tickets on amfamchampionship.com/tickets.
At Oak Park Place, they understand there are some loves that last a lifetime, like the love of the game, and they celebrate those things that make you uniquely you. Their community of friends, family, and caring staff provide support if you need it, while you enjoy your independence when you want it, because they know that sharing memories of time well spent is just that, time well spent. Learn more about senior living at an Oak Park Place near you. Visit oakparkplace.com.
You wake up in the morning, turn off your alarm, flip on the lights. With the push of a button, TVs, radios, coffee makers, and computers come alive in our homes. Automation and technology are keeping local businesses running and the economy growing. You don't think twice about all that powers our everyday life. We count on the stable, reliable transmission of electricity. And that's what American Transmission Company is all about. American Transmission Company, helping to keep the lights on, businesses running, and communities strong.
The critics are raving. It's the hottest reservation in the city, and people wait months for a table. And now, it's finally time to take your seat behind the wheel of the 2018 E-Class at your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. This is performance at its most tasteful. Refined power and Mercedes-Benz luxury with enough turbocharged torque to get you back in time for dessert. Visit MBUSA.com/E-Class to learn more. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
More than 110,000 of your neighbors in Wisconsin are battling Alzheimer's disease. It's the only leading killer that has no real treatment and certainly has no prevention or cure. There's much to be done in the fight to end this devastating disease. Scientists at the University of Wisconsin, one of the top-ranked research institutions in the country, are working across the spectrum of this disease to discover the next breakthrough, and you can help. Join the UW as we partner with the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation, the American Family Insurance Championship, and the Golf Effect Radio Show to support research with Birdies to End Alzheimer's. Make your pledge today and join us June 22nd through the 24th at University Ridge. 100% of the proceeds will go towards Alzheimer's research at the UW. Make your pledge now. BirdiesToEndALZ.com.
W265 CV Madison.
And we're back in Madison at a Wet Cherokee Country Club. Along with Dennis Tiziati, I'm Paul Brown. Steve Stricker is with us. 6.5 inches of rain so far in the month of May.
It's not wet. It's not wet
just a little bit, but
it's not wet.
It's not wet where Steve is. Steve Stricker, who tied for 23rd in the Players Championship event over the weekend. Steve, congratulations. Nice effort at the Players. From your perspective, obviously, I've never played the course. The average person doesn't get to play it. Put into perspective, you're 9 under. Tell us how difficult that golf course is and what are some of the main challenges of playing it?
Yeah, it's a tricky spot. It's not overly long, but it's all position golf. You know, you got to drive it in the fairway and knock it on the green. And if you don't drive it in the fairway, it becomes a challenge to get it on the green. And up around the greens is pretty severe if you do miss a green. So there's a lot of water, a lot of tricky pin locations. A little bit of wind makes for a pretty difficult course, and it's one that if you play well, you can. There's a lot of birdie holes, but if you get out of position, it can jump up and get you.
Steve, how would you describe about how you feel about the way you're playing right now overall?
You know, pretty good. I did pretty good this last week. I always feel like I can do better. I didn't putt the greatest at times. You know, did some dumb, silly, stupid mistakes that cost me shots here and there. But I'm hitting the ball okay. It's not great. I've kind of lost my little draw for the time being. It's kind of pretty straight to maybe a little bit of a push cut, which I've been working on every day last week. And but you know, I'm not too far off. The ball's not going crazy offline. It's just not the little draw that I'm used to seeing. But you know, I'm excited about the way I'm playing still, and this putter has got my attention. And I played 9 holes today, and a little bit of fun with Nikki and the kids, and putted really well. And so I'm close to getting that ball going in the hole a little bit more too, I think.
Steve, let's talk a little bit about putting from your perspective, recognized as one of the best putters for a long time on the tour. When in your mind you're not putting to the best of your ability, is it simply a matter of just continuing to putt? Do you look at changing putters, changing technique? But I would think in a case like yourself, who've played so many years, that may not be a good thing, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I've tried to change here and there, and you know, it never lasts. So I always end up going back to a putter that I've used for a long time or the same style. You know, for me, it's about feel, and you know, I'm onto a couple things that I've kind of not paid attention to, grip pressure being one of them, and just some simple things. You know, ball position sometimes, the width of your stance. Sometimes little things like that make a big difference. And I adjusted a few things today and rolled the ball really nice and made a lot of putts. So hopefully I can continue doing that. And that's the thing, is sticking to one thing or a couple of things and not try to deviate. And I've been deviating a little bit, kind of not sticking with one thing. But I think I found a couple things that make the most sense to me today.
What do you think of Webb Simpson's 18 under par? How good is that?
Yeah, that's really good. And, you know, I watched a little bit of it, and he was, you know, holing it from everywhere. And, you know, when you win by, well, he ended up winning by 4 shots, I think. But you know, for the most of the tournament, he had anywhere from 4 or 5 to 7 shot lead, and that's when you got that big a lead, you're making everything, because it's hard to separate yourself like that unless you're making a lot of putts. And he led the field in strokes gained putting, so that tells you what kind of putting week he had, and to match that with his ball striking, you know, it led to those low scores.
Steve, you're one of Tiger's best friends, so to speak, and let's go inside the ropes a little bit. From a player's point of view, Tiger, 11 under. But as far as on the tour, the fans, the reaction, the television coverage, all of the guys that are on the tour, give us a little insight about how people are feeling about Tiger, and is he getting close to what he used to be from a player point of view?
Well, I'm a little disappointed that he made the cut, to tell you the truth, because he called me up and he said, let's have a little side bet that I end up beating you after the first round. I had him by 5 shots, and then I had him by 8 shots. And then he's like, I'm going to catch you by the end of the tournament. I'm like, all right, well, let's put a little money on this thing. So, well, he should have missed the cut. You know, 2 guys, and I'm going to have to talk to Jordan Spieth and Justin Thomas, because they both bogeyed 18 to let Tiger Woods into the weekend, and then he ended up beating me, and now I owe him a little money. So, no, all seriousness, it's great to see. I actually talked to him today. He called me, and we talked some different things, one of them being putting, and he's really excited. He's excited to play. He feels good. His body feels good. He's doing a lot of good things. And he's, you know, sounds like the old Tiger Woods, even better. I mean, he's more engaged with people. He's fun to be around. Media people have told me the same thing. He's more engaged with them. And it shows in how he's playing and how he's acting while he's out on the golf course. You know, he's still very competitive and wants to do well, but it seems to be a little bit of a lighter Tiger Woods, you know, and it's good to see, and we need him in the game. You know, it draws more people to our game, more attention, more sponsorships. Everything is better when he's involved, and it's good to see him playing well and feeling well, mainly.
One final question, Steve, and we're going to let you go, and we appreciate your time. Byron Nelson this week. And then back to the championship tour the following week. Where are you going to be the next 2-3 weeks? What's on your agenda?
Well, I'm actually playing a Champions event this week in Alabama. And then I'm going to the regular tour, the Colonial, next week. I kind of flip-flopped them. It's a major on the Champions tour this week. So we're in Birmingham, Alabama. And then the Colonial tournament down in Fort Worth, Texas, and then I've got a week off, and then I'll play the U.S. Open qualifier the Monday of the St. Jude tournament, and I'll stay down there in Memphis and play in St. Jude too. So I've got a busy month coming up, and excited to play in a couple regular tour events and the major this week on the Champions Tour.
And one final note, I want to say thank you to this, not only to you, but to your foundation, the Steve Stricker American Family Foundation. As people that have been listening to the radio station all day, we began the Birdies to End Alzheimer's today, Steve. And the foundation said if we can come up with 5,000, the first 5,000, you guys would match it. Just to tell you, we've surpassed that already today. In fact, there's a little over $13,000 has been pledged on the first day of this effort, which will run through the tournament. Just want to say thank you to you and the foundation for allowing us to be associated with it, and hopefully we can do a lot of good things in helping out for Alzheimer's research. Thank you.
Yeah, and you're welcome, and it's a great cause, and you know it's something everybody is going to get probably touched by at some point in their lives. Either they're going to know somebody, friends, family, themselves. You know, someone's going to get touched by it, and this is a way for everybody to get behind it and help, and hopefully one day they come up with a cure for this, and this is the start of it. So yeah, it's good what you guys are doing, and we're happy to be a part of it.
Good luck to you the next couple of weeks, Steve, and thank you for your time.
All right. Thanks, guys. See ya.
We'll be back after this timeout on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
The PGA Tour champions are coming back to Madison. The 2018 American Family Insurance Championship Week is set for June 18th through the 24th at University Ridge. Tickets are available now at amfamchampionship.com/tickets. Be on the links when tournament host Steve Stricker tees it off. Proceeds from the AmFam Championship benefit the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation, the American Family Children's Hospital, and numerous local Madison charities. Don't miss out. Get your tickets on amfamchampionship.com/tickets.
Hi, this is Dave Gary, and it's open house time at the Princeton Clubs. Come see what our clubs are all about. Try a class or just relax in our pools. Visit any of our clubs for free during our open house going on now. With more locations, more amenities, and more free classes, there's never been a better time to be a member of the Princeton Clubs. I think you'll be surprised how much better you'll feel just after a few visits. Plus, with our express locations all over the Madison area, you'll never be more than a few minutes away from your next workout. As a member, you'll also have access to Cherokee Country Club's outdoor pool to make the most out of your summer. So come try the Princeton Clubs today. Get inspired and start feeling great again. We keep our clubs spotlessly clean, open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and with free childcare and no joining fees. And if you're ready to step up to the Princeton Clubs, we'll even buy out your current membership somewhere else. The Princeton Clubs, voted Madison's best health club.
I can hear her on my end. She's a little quiet.
PrincetonClub.net for more details.
At Oak Park Place, they understand there are some loves that last a lifetime.
Oh, they were
like the
asking
love
if they
of the
could hear her.
game, and they celebrate those things that make you uniquely you. Their community of friends, family, and caring staff provide support if you need it, while you enjoy your independence when you want it. Because they know that sharing memories of time well spent is just that, time well spent. Learn more about senior living at an Oak Park Place near you. Visit oakparkplace.com.
The American Family Insurance Championship at University Ridge Golf Course is quickly approaching, and you can play the course for some of the best rates of the year. Enjoy spring rates as low as $55 with a GPS card from now until Memorial Day weekend. Or join the Ridge Club and pay half-price green fees for most of the season. You don't have to be a pro to play one of the best courses in southern Wisconsin. Book a tee time today at universityridge.com or give us a call, 845-7700. Play where the Badgers play and the pros play, University Ridge.
Right now, Cherokee Country Club is offering outstanding introductory golf memberships. You can join Cherokee as an individual member for $2,400. Depending on your age, you can get a family membership that starts at only $2,900. Check it out for yourself. What you're going to find is the best deal in Madison when it comes to joining a golf club. And by the way, your membership also allows you to use all of the facilities at the Princeton Club and the Madison Club.
30 seconds.
If you're a business owner, Cherokee offers a voucher golf program that allows you to purchase 20 rounds of golf, good for 18 holes with a golf cart, for only $1,000. What a great way to entertain your clients, customers, or employees. Cherokee also offers memberships for swimming and indoor and outdoor
15
tennis.
seconds, stand by.
And the public is welcome to use the driving range, restaurant, banquet facilities, or book a wedding there. For more information, call 249-1000 or
5
visit
seconds,
the
coming back.
website at CherokeeCountryClub.net. Along with Dennis Tiziani, I'm Paul Brown. And joining us now is Sanjay Asana. He has a title that's about an inch deep and takes up about 3 inches across, but we'll talk about some facets of it, but basically director of the Wisconsin ADRC. Sanjay, welcome to our show. And Dory Sudworth is with us. She's director of development, the UW Initiative to End Alzheimer's. Dory works at the Wisconsin Foundation and Alumni Association. Sanjay, you've spent the greater part of, 30, 40 years involved with this. And when you hear that there's no treatment, no prevention, no cure, from your perspective, where are we in all of this?
Yes, first of all, thanks for having me here. The research about Alzheimer's disease has really advanced in the last about 20 or 30 years. We have a much better understanding of what causes the disease. We now know that there are some abnormal proteins that get deposited in the brain, and then over decades, they cause death of the brain cells. And when the brain cells die, that's what results in memory complaints and all the other symptoms that these patients have. UW-Madison, you may know, is internationally renowned in Alzheimer's research, and there's cutting-edge research that's going on here, which really has contributed new information to understanding how the disease develops and how it really over time, unfortunately, takes away people's lives. So there's some very exciting research that's going on here.
And when you look at that research, what are you encouraged? What do you see?
Yeah. You know, what we have found here and some other centers across the United States is that we can now actually image the abnormal proteins that get deposited in people's brains who have Alzheimer's disease. We can image it with very special brain scans. So in people who are living with the disease, and even when they have no symptoms, we can actually do these brain scans, and they can be done at UW-Madison Hospital, and really find out that the disease has started in their brain and they have no symptoms yet. So the hope is that as we find more effective treatments, we can stop those proteins from developing and destroying people's brain and stop them from having even any symptom. So I think this is some of the most exciting research that's gone on in Alzheimer's.
And Dennis, you're a big guy on results, and that's not meant as a negative. You like to see things happen. From Sanjay's perspective, I guess one of the things you might mention is, okay, how far away are we? Where are we, right?
Well, you know, I have a lot of confidence in what they're doing. He's doing what they're doing at UW. But you're right, I'm kind of results orientated. But if in fact there are some things that are holding them back to get those results, and if financing is the part of the issue, that's where we come in. So this is why we got involved and say, okay, you know, I mean, what happens if we can make a sizable contribution to this? How would we be able to, as a result of this contribution, we'll be able to get to where we want to get to faster?
Yeah,
that's what we're looking for.
Absolutely, and this is one of the most important things about Alzheimer's disease. Just to give you a feel of how much money we need really for this disease. That for every dollar that the U.S. government invests in Alzheimer's research, we need to raise another 42 cents. So anything we get from the government, we have to raise another 40%. We are talking about billions of dollars that are necessary to be invested in Alzheimer's research, which the government cannot invest. So, and I think that's so critical to fundraise and to develop other sources of funding for Alzheimer's research, which really will help us understand the disease and find a cure. The word cure is possible now for Alzheimer's disease, which about 2 decades ago we couldn't have been thinking because we didn't understand how the disease was caused. But now we have better understanding, and we are very hopeful that a cure will be found.
Dory is going to be coming up here. We're going to chat with her in a couple of minutes, and we'll talk about the Birdies to End Alzheimer's campaign. Sanjay, in terms of the dollars that do come in for research, what are they used for?
Well, you know, the first thing is that every cent we get in terms of support for Alzheimer's research is used for research. And generally what we do is we are trying to develop some more specialized brain scans to really image these proteins in the brain. And we are now, we have discovered some new molecules which we think will lead to some drugs that will actually stop the disease when the person has no symptoms. And that research is very exciting and very new. And UW is one of the few centers that is doing that kind of research. So that, I think, two very promising advances. And the money will be used to find new treatments and a cure, and also to better understand the disease.
From your perspective, what are some of the big challenges in finding the cure?
Yes, you know, one of the, we, as I mentioned earlier, we really understand better how the disease develops, but we don't quite understand everything that goes wrong in the brain, because we think there are multiple mechanisms that are going on in the brain that cause a death of the brain cells. So as we discover more of those mechanisms, we'll be able to find new drugs, a collection of drugs, a treatment that can treat Alzheimer's disease. As an analogy, you know, if someone has high blood pressure, generally you need about 2 or 3 medications to control your blood pressure. Same applies to Alzheimer's. We think there may not be one single magic medication, but a combination of medications which will actually slow the progression and cure the disease one day.
Dennis, anything else you'd like to ask?
$2, not $1.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
We're going for 2.
Thank you.
He's got big numbers in mind, Sanjay.
Wouldn't that be wonderful? If you mentioned 2 to 4 million, would that be a dream for us? I think that will really do an amazing job here.
The math works out.
What would that do for you, seriously, if you had to say 2 million?
Yeah, so we're going to invest in a number of areas of research. So one, we are doing a lot of molecular research. We really want to understand how different toxic molecules cause Alzheimer's. So that is one area we'll invest in animal and molecular research. The other area would be to find much better ways to diagnose the disease when someone has no symptoms, but we know the disease is going on from the brain scan that I mentioned to you earlier. And the third major area would be to develop new medications and actually to do clinical trials in people who have the disease. Eventually, it's the clinical trial that will determine and find a cure for the disease. So I think these are the 3 major areas where we want to invest in. One more area that I want to mention is that we understand that the disease behaves in different ways in different races. So we need to really understand how it differs in say African Americans versus Caucasians versus Asians versus Hispanics. So I think that is an area of research which is not well done yet, and we need to learn a lot.
But there is a difference.
There is clearly a difference. We know that among races.
Anyway, I didn't tell you, but they made me in charge of setting the pins during the tournament.
They did. Mm-hmm. Oh, they're all going to be in the center?
In the center on level ground. That's right. There's going to be a lot of birdies. A lot of birdies. That's what we're going to do.
If indeed, unfortunately, Sanjay, 14 million people get this disease, people are starting to talk about it. As you get older, you start to worry about it.
Yes.
What can you say to those people that are part of the baby boomer generation and they're starting to get concerned about this?
The most important message, look after your brain, just the way we look after our heart. I think it's very important. We know that the heart and the brain are very closely connected to each other. So some of the new things we found out over the past decade is that people who have diseases like high blood pressure or diabetes or heart disease, or they have high cholesterol, we know that those conditions, if they're not treated effectively, they will increase the risk for Alzheimer's disease. So important thing is to go to your doctor, get regular checkups. And if you're found to have those diseases, which are extremely common as we get in our 40s and 50s, they need to be treated. The other very effective prevention strategy, which we know is effective, is regular exercise. We've heard it over and over again that exercise is good for heart. We now know it is good for the brain. And the third thing is to lead a very healthy life, including a healthy diet. We now understand that diets that are rich in fat and things like those, if they are better controlled, the diet, that also reduces risk for Alzheimer's disease. And these are the things we can really do every day in our day-to-day life.
Controllable.
Yes, very controllable.
Yeah. Well, Sanjay, we put Dory to work a little bit. I think out of the norm of what her regular job was as Director of Development. And Dory, from your perspective, this whole project, just kind of summarize it and talk about the significance of what we're doing here from your perspective.
Oh, yes. It's an amazing opportunity for us. So this initiative to end Alzheimer's at the university is a relatively new initiative. So while the Wisconsin ADRC and the WAI have been in existence for a while, we have not had the platform in the past to talk about Alzheimer's disease and what the UW is doing as a whole to address it. So we, about 2.5 years ago, started on this, very grassroots.
It took a little while, though.
Little while. Patience is a virtue. And so, we have tried very hard to synergize, what are we great at? What are our things that we want to make sure we tell people about? Who are the people we want to talk to? And then how do we get as much engagement and education out there as possible? This opportunity is amazing because I'm only one person. I can only talk to so many people at a time. This type of program allows us to reach a lot more people a lot more quickly. So we can educate a lot more people who need this information.
So tell us about Birdies to End Alzheimer's.
So Birdies to End Alzheimer's is, it's already starting. So it will culminate at the American Family Insurance Championship, June 22nd to the 24th. However, leading up to that, we are doing a major pledge drive. And people can go online, they can pledge per birdie, or there's a Give Now button if you want to just do a flat pledge and do it now and not wait. We would love that too. So basically, people can pledge for all the birdies that will be occurring, hopefully $2 per birdie for the thousands that will be coming, or they can do a flat pledge right now and just help us right now with all the work that we're doing. And we'll be educating and being on your show as well as on iHeartRadio for the next almost month, talking about educating folks, getting them involved, getting them engaged, and hopefully getting them to pledge.
And just to recap, to give everybody straight up, the first year of the tournament, there was a little over 1,000 birdies. And last year there was 878 birdies. I don't know what they did out at the Ridge, but they made it tougher.
That's what I told you. We got this problem covered. We're going to get a better spot for him putts.
So you can look at it and say, maybe $2 scares some people, but just put it into perspective and say, if you did a dime a birdie and there's 1,000 birdies, that's $100.
Absolutely. Any amount helps.
Everything helps.
Everything
helps. Or just a general donation and that kind of
thing. But it does let everybody in.
Yeah. And
but there's going to be some people that are going to do a little bit different than that.
Right.
Buck.
And the fun part of it would be to do it by the birdies, because then you can follow the tournament. That creates more interest in the tournament. After day one on Friday, somebody will go, oh, how many birdies?
And we're going to be on the tent, right? You figured it out yet?
I haven't figured that out yet.
Okay, but it looks like that's a possibility. But so we'll be interviewing some guys and twisting some arms that are playing. They've got all the dough.
You got the contacts there, so good luck with that one.
Yeah, we'll get them. Freddie's not going to be here.
Sanjay, anything final you want to say?
First, I really want to thank you all for helping us really expand the Alzheimer's research program. And our collective mission is to win this disease.
That's right.
It is so devastating. It affects people around the globe. It does not spare any race. It can affect anyone. And I think it is absolutely pivotal for human suffering and for national economies and really for the human race to win this disease. And the only way we can win it is through increasing investment funds to do Alzheimer's research. And UW Madison is really renowned, and we've got some amazing breakthroughs that are coming from here. So thanks for helping us out.
And Dory, from your perspective, quite frankly, and I don't think you disagree with me on this, I picked up on it already by dealing with you guys. The money is one thing, but this potentially could be one of the bigger PR and educational campaigns that you guys have ever done for this disease.
Yes, absolutely. So the money is certainly important for us to advance our mission. As Sanjay mentioned, whether we have a lot of grants coming in, which we do, which speaks to the credibility of our program, as Sanjay said, in order for us to utilize those grants, we have to raise 43 cents on the dollar. That's a lot. So that allows us to innovate. So those any additional monies that we have allows us to go in different directions that the NIH will not support. But the most important thing here really is to get people engaged, to get people to think about whether this is something they has affected their family and how they can help in prevention. They need to talk about it. The stigma needs to start to dissipate. They need to be engaged, ask for help, find the resources. They are out there. And, many years ago, we didn't have any treatments for cancer. We do now. People invested, people stopped being scared of the word cancer, and we forged ahead. We are in the same situation with Alzheimer's. So hopefully people will rally behind this cause as well and make a real difference. So.
Dory, Sanjay, thank you very much.
Pleasure. Thanks for having us. Thank you.
We'll be back on Talking Golf after this time out on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
We're not your electric company, but we help move power to your community. We don't generate electricity, but our grid helps to energize your everyday life. We provide stable, reliable energy transmission from the energy sources to your home or business. We are American Transmission Company, the vital link between power production and the people who count on it. American Transmission Company, helping to keep the lights on, businesses running, and communities strong.
At Oak Park Place, they understand there are some loves that last a lifetime, like the love of the game, and they celebrate those things that make you uniquely you. Their community of friends, family, and caring staff provide support if you need it, while you enjoy your independence when you want it. Because they know that sharing memories of time well spent is just that, time well spent. Learn more about senior living at an Oak Park Place near you. Visit oakparkplace.com.
The American Family Insurance Championship at University Ridge Golf Course is quickly approaching, and you can play the course for some of the best rates of the year. Enjoy spring rates as low as $55 with a GPS card from now until Memorial Day weekend. Or join the Ridge Club and pay half-price green fees for most of the season.
Yes, we have one more, and I have Gail on the phone.
In southern Wisconsin. Book a tee time today at universityridge.com or give us a call, 845-7700. Play where the Badgers play and the pros play. University Ridge.
The PGA Tour champions are coming back to Madison. The 2018 American Family Insurance Championship Week is set for June 18th through the 24th at University Ridge. Tickets are available now at amfamchampionship.com/tickets. Be on the links when tournament host Steve Stricker tees it off. Proceeds from the AmFam Championship benefit the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation, the American Family Children's Hospital, and numerous local Madison charities. Don't miss out. Get your tickets on amfamchampionship.com/tickets.
The mighty Blue Marlin. You've battled for 2 solid hours. He jumps again. He's almost at the side of the boat. It's the moment of truth. Because there's never been a better time to test drive the 2018 Mercedes-Benz GLC. With a smooth 9-speed transmission, it loves to run. Set course for your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. Visit MBUSA.com/GLC to learn more. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
Did you know the cost of caring for those with Alzheimer's disease will top $277 billion in 2018? Sadly, the dollar amount doesn't capture the incredible human toll of this devastating disease. Our only hope lies in research aimed at prevention and the treatment to reverse the illness. Scientists right here at the University of Wisconsin are leading the fight to end Alzheimer's disease, and they can succeed with your help. The UW is honored to partner with the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation, the American Family Insurance Championship, and the Golf Effect
All right, 20 seconds here, guys. Stand by.
Support this research with Birdies to End Alzheimer's. Make your pledge today and join us June 22nd through the 24th at University Ridge Golf Course. 100% of the proceeds will go towards Alzheimer's research at the UW. Pledge now. Birdies to End ALZ.com. Back at Cherokee Country Club in Madison, along with Dennis Tiziani, I'm Paul Brown, and we're going to get back to talking golf now. But before we do, we'd just like to encourage everybody that is listening to the show tonight. We hope that you will consider getting involved with the Birdies to End Alzheimer's and help out in terms of the research. I think by listening to Sanjay and Dory, you get a pretty good idea of the significance. And all you have to do is go, the website is up. It's basically been up for about, say, 24 hours. BirdiesToEndALZ.com. BirdiesToEndALZ.com. And when we came on the air tonight, we started it basically, let's say, 24 hours ago, and the total was up to a little over $13,000. At that point, I've got a couple of texts here since the show began, and I've got 2 texts for a buck a birdie from 2 different people, and I don't know, you got one too?
Oh, yeah, 2.
You got 2? So, but anyway, let's talk now. We're going to get back to talking golf, and Gail Perla is with us. Gail is the volunteer coordinator for the American Family Insurance Championship, and they have a great website for the championship, and one of the features on that website is for people that are volunteers. If you go to the website, you're going to see things on the website for volunteers about the handbook, about the opportunities, how many days and shifts you have to cover, what does the volunteer donation cover, where parking is, any age limit. That's just some of the information that's available on that site. Gail, welcome to the show. Where are you in terms of volunteers for this summer's tournament?
Well, thanks for having me on today. Before I get too far into that, I do want to say we are extremely excited about this new partnership with the, initiative here to end Alzheimer's. And I know personally that has affected my life, and my husband's life as we have had parents afflicted with that disease. So again, can't stress enough that, we appreciate any support that you could have there. So again, thank you very much for doing that. And again, one of the other great aspects of this tournament. So thank you.
Gail, if you would, what would you like to share about that experience? What do you think it's important for people to know that don't have somebody directly involved with the disease? I hope all of us in the sound of my voice never have to deal with the disease, and anybody in your family, friends, or whatever. But from your thought process, what's important for people to know?
I think, you know, the education and the research that needs to be done. I again, back when, you know, when my parents were young and of, let's say, my age or so, I don't think that this ever came in their minds as something of a disease, where now I can't, I think that daily you run into somebody who's affected by it in some fashion. So it doesn't matter, you know, who you are, what you've done in your life, anything like that. It can hit anybody at any time, and it affects not only the person, but the entire family and those around them. It's again, as you indicated, it's a terrible disease, and it, again, if we could stop something like that, it's just very difficult, and you need to have the support. And again, you know, UW doing the research here in our own state is really important. I don't think society has prepared itself for the amount of people that can be afflicted with this.
Where are you with volunteers, Gail?
We are at 1,100 currently, so we're doing really great. People have come out. Last year we were down slightly. We were at about 900 or so. We'll attribute that to our golf lovers doing a little bit of the U.S. Open the week before. But this year, again, people have stepped up in the area and community, and throughout the United States, actually. I believe we have over 15 different states coming in for the tournament this year, which is great.
Is 1,100 enough, or do you have a waiting list, or do you need more?
Well, 1,100, I think, allows us to keep everybody busy. You know, when you spend your time to come out there, we want to make sure that you're not just standing around, that we keep you busy. So that's a very doable number. We do currently have a wait list of about 120 on the wait list. So if something comes up or we have cancellations or things, we'll be more than happy to pull people off of that. But it's a tribute, again, to the state for such a great turnout for the event.
Gail, the first 2 years and the feedback, and I'm sure you surveyed the volunteers and that kind of thing, what did you learn about what they liked, what their experience involved, and maybe things that you could do to make it even better for the volunteers?
Well, and what we try and do here is make this tournament fun for the volunteers. And we do survey them every year after and take to heart what they'd like, what they didn't like, and things that they're looking for in a tournament. And I think one of the things that we decided to do, which is kind of unusual for a PGA event, is a lot of times when you volunteer, it is hey, you have to commit to 3 days or 4 days of time in order to volunteer. We have kind of altered that a little bit and said, hey, if you can volunteer 2 shifts or 1 day, the more the merrier. And you don't necessarily need to have any golf knowledge to volunteer. And so, again, if you can come out and give us 1 day of your time, we'll take that and get as many people from the community involved as possible.
What's the biggest challenge you face every year with this?
Probably making sure everybody gets kind of what they want to do. We really pride ourselves in, if you sign up, we try and give you your first choice. And I think that's probably the biggest challenge. You know, there are certain areas where people want them and they're gone within 24 hours. You know, we try and have volunteers out there doing what they want to do and having a great time. So not only is it about running a great tournament, but we want them to have fun also.
Dennis, you've been involved in golf for 40, 50 years of your life and that kind of thing. You watch what's happening here. Yes, it's the Champions Tour. It's not on the major tour as far as an event in Madison. But you look at it and you got crowds of 60,000 people. You got 1,100 people who want to volunteer. It's things going pretty well, isn't it, when you really look at it?
Well, right from the tour's perspective, you know, they'll tell you that this is one of the top 3 tournaments on the senior tour today after 1 year or after 2 years. So they've got nothing but upward mobility. We have a great area to draw from. I mean, Milwaukee, there is no tournament, major tournament. Even Chicago is void of them. You know, Minneapolis, you know, they have a senior event up there now, but you get the Chicago and the money triangle, so to speak, in Wisconsin. People are getting after it, and he's getting good players. And I can't say enough about how much American Family is doing behind the scenes. You know, you can talk about this person and that person, but if American Family didn't give the resources that they did give to this tournament, it wouldn't have been successful. So thank American Family for getting this off the ground and bringing along doubters or those who were in it for a different reason to make it a success. So like I said, it's one of the top senior events that there is, and there'll be a major here before too long.
Gail, any final thoughts before we let you go?
No, I think I'd make sure everybody comes out. This is a great opportunity to see golf up close and personal. It's a fun event, family orientated. We have things out there for every age, golfer and non-golfer. So please come out. Make sure to join us the 22nd through the 24th of June. Did I hear you're about a 2 or 3 handicap? Oh, yeah. No, I'm not sure who you talked about there, but no, maybe in my dreams. I think Dennis has to give me some lessons.
There you go. Now you're cooking. I was just figuring we'll check around and we'll have her on a Pro-Am. You know, they play the forward tees, and we can, you know, we can play on that short course.
I think she's better than she's letting on.
A drive or two to help you guys.
There you go. Now you're cooking. All right. Whenever you're ready, I'm ready to be with you.
Gail, thank you very much, and good luck with your position as volunteer coordinator of the tournament. We appreciate your time.
Okay, thank you.
We'll be back after this time out on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
Hi, this is Dave Gary, and it's open house time at the Princeton
We're
Club.
coming back at 56 on the dot.
All about try a class or just relax in our pools. Visit any of our clubs.
Well, I mean,
for free
maybe 1
during
second
our
or two
open
after.
house going on now with more locations, more amenities.
Depends how
and
quickly
more
I
free
press the
classes.
brake on
There's never
the second
been a
brake.
better time to be a member of the
I'll let you know when I press it.
I think you'll be surprised how much better you'll feel just after a few visits. Plus, with our express locations all over the Madison area, you'll never be more than a few minutes away from your next workout. As a member, you'll also have access to Cherokee Country Club's outdoor pool to make the most out of your summer. So come try the Princeton Clubs today. Get inspired and start feeling great again. We keep our clubs spotlessly clean, open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and with free childcare and no joining fees. And if you're ready to step up to the Princeton Clubs, we'll even buy out your current membership somewhere else. The Princeton Clubs, voted Madison's best health club year after year. Visit PrincetonClub.net for more details.
What can you count on? There's that friend who always calls at the right time. A loyal companion, always ready to go. Here's something else you can count on: electricity. Just flip a switch and your life powers up. At American Transmission Company, we help make sure electricity is there when you need it. That's what we do.
Oh, and Dave, I already marked the
reliable power for your everyday life.
the TSO tag thing. I'll just get rid of that.
Keep the lights on. Business is running. And
Yeah, I heard it go by, and I was like, we're like, it's just what you were talking about is like the real quick, like 2 second tag, right?
2018 American Family Insurance Championship Week is set for June 18th through the 24th.
Oh, no. I'm saying to get rid of it for the
Tickets are
podcast.
available now at amfamchampionship.com/tickets. Be on the links when tournament host Steve Stricker tees it off. Proceeds from the AmFam Championship
Last week,
benefit
yeah.
the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation, the American Family Children's Hospital, and numerous local Madison charities. Don't miss out. Get your tickets on amfamchampionship.com/tickets.
Right now, Cherokee Country Club is offering outstanding introductory golf memberships. You can join Cherokee as an individual member for $2,400. Depending on your age, you can get a family membership that starts at only $2,900. Check it out for yourself. What you're going to find is the best deal in Madison when it comes to joining a golf club. And by the way, your membership also allows you to use all of the facilities
we're coming back
at the
at
Princeton Club and the
56:03.
Madison Club. If you're a business owner, Cherokee offers
And
a
then
voucher
outline music
golf
at
program
58:20,
that allows
out
you to
at
purchase 20 rounds of golf,
59:10.
good for 18 holes with a golf cart for only $1,000. What a great way to entertain your clients, customers, or employees. Cherokee also offers memberships for swimming and indoor and outdoor tennis. And the public is welcome to use the driving range, restaurant, banquet facilities, or book a wedding there. For more information, call 249-1000 or visit the website at CherokeeCountryClub.net.
The American Family Championship features golf's living legends competing right here in Wisconsin. Take advantage of the Wild Rock American Family Championship package, which includes 18 holes with GPS cart at Wild Rock, with lunch and a Wild Rock hat, plus a ticket to the championship in Madison this June. Call or check out our website for availability, 608-253-4653 or wildrockgolf.com. That's wildrockgolf.com.
And talking golf on the Golf Effect Radio Network with Dennis Tiziani, I'm Paul Brown. Dennis, let's talk about the driving range. Rather than just going up there and hitting balls, shouldn't you have some kind of a plan where maybe even pretend like you're playing a hole, hit a driver, pretending like it's a 400-yard par 4, then taking a different club? Or what's your strategy in terms of working and getting better on a range versus taking a bucket of balls, dumping it on the ground and hitting them?
First of all, it's a golf range. You don't drive on a range, so it's a golf range.
Okay, just like golf car, not golf cart.
Right.
Okay,
I'm
learning.
Right.
Slow learner, but I'm learning.
Well, what you do it, loosen up. When you loosen up all the parts, the hands would be the first thing you would loosen up, right? Put both feet together and chip the ball just using your hands. So you're warming up your hands, and you'll find out in order to do that, then you have to hit the ball. You don't use your hands. Then I would get my feet a little bit wider apart. And as you go, eventually getting to where both hips are inside of your insteps. You need to have core body rotating inside of your insteps. Then the most important thing, and probably the only conscious move that you have to make in golf, the only conscious move, is your upper left quadrant. For you righties, right, left-handers, you got to do a right shoulder, but I'm talking about normal golfers. left shoulder. And you have to get your left shoulder as close to your right toe as you can in making a turn. Because that shoulder turn, when you do that, creates a lower back turn, which you need, and then we'll also do your hip turn. So you're trying to resist your legs on the way going back, little or no leg turn, little or no hip turn, which is, and so that's where you would go. Hand action first, get your feet in a wider apart, and then continue making this good turn. As you do then, going back towards the ball, you'll have to keep the club moving all the time. So many people at the end of their backswing, they freeze their hands at the end of the backswing and they don't let the club head moves all the time. When I was with Arnold, Arnold Palmer, we talked about this sort of stuff and what he does, because he did it in an unconventional way. But he told me this. I was sitting right across the desk from him. He said, when I when I start to make my movement onto my left foot, I am releasing the club as quick as I can. I am really getting, because the core body turn kind of negates that. So in doing that, that's why I went to hands, and then we did core body, upper left quadrant. That's the critical move. And then you make your move. Of course, you'll feel your weight. It's on your right heel, goes to your left heel. And if you just make a mental commitment to release your upper pivot, your lower will go first. So it's kind of an easy thing.
Thank you very much. And a good tip for everybody, if you're going to go to the range, hopefully here in the next couple of days. For David McCann, along with Dennis Tiziani, I'm Paul Brown, and believe it or not, we're out of time. Another week is up, and we thank you for joining us. And that is Talking Golf for now on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
Thank you for tuning in to Talking Golf on the Golf Effect Network. Talking Golf has been brought to you by American Transmission Company, ATC, helping you keep the lights on, businesses running, and communities strong. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully and dream fearlessly. Oak Park Place, offering senior living options for the lifestyle you deserve, with amenities and services for a carefree, independent way of life. And by the Princeton Club, a premier health club that combines state-of-the-art equipment with a highly trained staff and convenient locations. Until next time, here's wishing you fairways and greens. Broadcasting live from the Metro Ford of Madison Studios, this is the Big 1070 WTSO.